We settled back east and into the public school system. Ralph went to teaching public school. So it's just totally different setup. I was in Thailand until I was 14 in a private school and came over here to a public school. I would say if we can compare educational system between what I had then in Thailand and during the time of my children attending, it's just so different. In Thailand, the math level, math, science, everything that has to do with science is so far intense and advanced. In most schools, they give it to just about everyone. It doesn't matter how good or not good. It doesn't matter how much they like it. So if you like it, you tend to make good grades because you enjoy the classes and enjoy exploring, learning new things and asking questions. But if you're not keen about a subject, you shy away and you don't ask questions and sometimes you don't listen. If your kids were anything like me, I fell asleep in the back of the class. And it's not because sleep deprived or anything like that. It bored me to sleep. I just went right to sleep. Science was really fun. I enjoy science. I did really well, especially the part that I had to do some experiment when I got to try my own thing. That was so much fun. There was a little warning about me among the teachers. They all watched me. They didn't want me to blow up the lab. I wasn't chemist genius or anything like that. It's just that how I make experiments in science, it would be like cooking. And that's how I get so good at cooking because I try this and this and that. The thing is though, in cooking, I get it more than I got science. Now, in international school, the kids were taught in American system, but intense course. I don't know if the classes were big enough for them to split into odd level, honor level, and advanced or AP level. My kids moved to lower, if you call it, ranking as they grew older. Nicholas, it didn't reflect much, but Brendan, one class from advanced level to honor level. Does that mean that Brendan was not a good student? No. Does that mean that teacher wasn't good enough? Honestly, teachers work hard and I would never come down on them. They have so many faces that they face every day, and not just children's faces, but the parents' faces, especially in private school, because it was more direct teacher-to-parent relationship that the capacity of the public school would allow them. I wish I could talk to my kids' teachers more often than I did. They weren't allowed enough time for each parent because they got so many parents. I know that because not only am I a mom of 4 children, I'm a wife of a math teacher. The workload that Ralph brought back home from school is just crazy. Talking about working 70 hours a week, Ralph likes to hand grade everything. He likes it a lot when he gets to see the work by their handwriting. He said not only he sees how they figure out their answers, he also sees where they hesitate, where they're not sure. You know how if you do it enough, you will know that the stroke's kind of broken or interrupted. Ralph can tell stuff like that. He said it doesn't matter if they're wrong. He likes it that they're wrong. It shows that they go off in some way. I don't know. He knows exactly how they think. And that would be how he figure out a way to save that student from the math mess. That is the way that my husband thinks. Today he's a senior teacher and he's still teaching. And he's probably going to teach until he can't. He still does the same amount of work. He has on point comment, meaning that he doesn't waste time beating around the bush anymore. He gets right to the point. He's a good, kind teacher, and students love him, even the ones that he failed. Yeah, he failed. It also means literally fail, and he feels that he fails the student. If they don't do well, don't graduate, so many reasons. It's called teacher skill. Anyway, we moved from my own children to Ralph's student because they connected. The kids came over here. Brendan said it right out. He said, Mom, school done me that. And I just went, oh my God, seriously? He said, Mom, seriously, I'm not compatible. I don't fit right in this school. That's the thing that parents have to watch out for. By the end of sophomore year, Brendan already started looking at colleges. I said, Brendan, should we move you to a private school? And I was just thinking, oh my God, it's going to cost an arm and a leg. And Brendan thought about it. No, Mom, in 2 years I'll take off. I don't want to move. So I was thinking, should I have a say in something like this? Because it's not too late. He could move to a better school. And I'm not coming down the school where he went. It was a good school. It just didn't have the right fit for my son. So there's no blame here. I don't know how they ran the school. I don't know how my son behaved as a student, but the school didn't fit. He took math, he took science because the intention was to attend college as a science biology major so he could go into medical program because he wanted to be a doctor. So math was always important. Ralph helped him out as much as he could. He struggled. Our son is really smart and his thinking was sharp. Sometimes Ralph would take some difficult math problems and they would figure out together. I just think it was really nice and strange to see them get a kick out of something like that. So Nicholas, oh my goodness, Nicholas was Mr. Nice, Mr. It's okay, I'm fine. Keep all his problems to himself. He wouldn't tell me or Ralph he had math problem. Like problem keeping up with math. Every time we were called in to have a conference with his teacher, they would say, what a sweet, sweet boy. We love him. So polite, so nice, so capable. But he stopped himself from doing the work. So my eyes just went wide. I said, what? He's lazy? I know we have to keep reminding him to do his homework. The teacher said, no, it's just he started to do his work. And I felt as if I was torturing him. And this is teacher's own word. She thought that he needed more challenge. Then I realized that's what happened with Nicholas's third grade English. His English ability was 7th grade. And the teacher started getting him to not only reading more books, he got him to do structured writing. Nicholas did all that, but to get him to go into it is really hard. So imagine getting him to do math homework here. He barely made it. And that was with his dad's help. Ralph had to get beyond math, deep down in the psychology of I don't know, everything. And try to get that side of Nicholas out of him and get him to work. Once he worked, there was no problem. There's that. Then came Justin and Caitlin, and you know the story. All my kids struggled. It boils down to Ralph's opinion that because they're in the school system that didn't allow the ratio teacher to student lower. They have I don't know how many tens of students per teacher, but just think if you can work intensively with a few kids at a time, even if they rotate, how much better it will be. That was my wish. I'm not going to criticize public school. I'm not criticizing teachers at all. I admire those who give themselves up, those who put themselves before their family and their needs. Okay, I'm getting vulnerable here because I'm a teacher's wife. I live with him. I know how he thinks. Ralph came home the first week. He got sick and he was down. Ralph is not spring chicken. I said, honey, you should stay home. It's early enough in the school year. You could find a sub. Tell him what to work on. He said, no, I have to go because I have this. And he started to list a few things. That made it so important for him to go in no matter what. Then he said, maybe I'll come home if I still feel yucky. Did he come home? No. In fact, he stayed after school. I didn't see him Saturday. I didn't see him Sunday. I didn't see him Monday. Finally, he said, I can't go. We would text. I didn't see his face. I'm paranoid when it comes to getting sick. Mindset of a former opera singer. I wouldn't let myself get sick. Never, if I could help it. Forget it. He was on the couch with a remote in his hand. He said, honey, here's a remote. I'm like, no way I'm touching that. So yeah, we had to sanitize everything he touched that I wanted to touch. He went back to work today. Last night, I was on my way up. He came down to get water. Yeah, no voice. Absolute zero voice. He couldn't talk. And I said, are you going to school tomorrow? He said, and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever you say. I'm just saying, Ralph really cares so much about his students. I don't think I heard anything bad from parents because the school would tell. They evaluate teachers all the time. And let me tell you, the turnover here in Nevada is high. They try to attract teachers, young, freshly graduated teachers, and some of them can't even do math, and they were assigned math class in 3rd grade, for example. If you don't know math, you have to go and really brush it up. In fact, that was precisely what this young woman did. She came in for a crash course with Ralph because she was going to be a teacher in 3rd grade and she had to teach math, and that was her weakness. Ralph had to teach her all over again. Math is everywhere. He said she doesn't even know multiplication, division. You use that in your life every day.
Is your middle or high school child struggling with math? If so, I'm certain it's causing them stress, and almost certainly you as well. Have you tried everything you can think of to help, but nothing has worked?
Ralph has been teaching math for decades, but he still says the system leaves kids behind. Hi, I'm Pradichaya. That's why we created a free class, 5 reasons why your child is struggling in math.